Okay, we are live, and basically, the summer is now over. I am back at my home office. I am back to reality land, kids in school tomorrow, and it is business. This time of year, actually, there's something about the smell of the air where it's like hardcore business, September 1st to about December 15th. So, this is time to harvest. Now, with that, I'm actually going to, I wrote this in a newsletter this morning. It'll be published in a couple days. But I've done a couple series and a couple newsletter articles on why I notice firms, whether they're professional services firms, agencies, or even software companies, we'll just call them firms, remain small. Now, I'm not saying that I've grown the biggest businesses in the world, but each of the three agencies I've created have grown beyond 30 employees, which for a lot of people is a large number. Get Leverage, we're trying to grow to hundreds and hundreds of employees. So the intent here is this will be quite a large firm. And when you are an agency 3, you learn a lot of things. So this is about two reasons why I see companies stay small. And it's around indecision, and it's around the inability to make decisions quickly and to be non-committal. So I'm going to share this with a story. Let's kind of use prospecting as the core centerpiece. Indecision. I have watched so many times companies know the problem. You know you're not creating enough lead generation. No matter how great you are at middle of the funnel and bottom of the funnel, no matter how great you are at telling a story to win a customer or retaining a customer and upselling and cross-selling a customer, if you cannot create top of the funnel, over time, your churn will exceed your net new and you will start to shrink, and you become part of this problem where you're just not growing fast enough because you can't win net new fast enough. Indecision comes when you know you have that problem, yet you are unwilling to take money, retained earnings, and I know it's hard, this is your money, and spend it, even though you don't know how it's going to yield. It's indecision on taking some sort of action on a campaign. When you are small, you most likely do not have product market fit. And so you do not know what the silver bullet's going to be. You don't know if it's going to be paid media, organic content marketing, email prospecting, LinkedIn prospecting, live events, webinars, newsletters, conferences, the dark web, dark social, which means you're in chat groups. Anyone that tells you they know the answer is lying. The only thing that you could do is use precedents from your own industry and whatever the benchmarks or best practices are. So indecision is when you're willing to do anything. This inertia problem is where I run into the vast majority of problems. So you lose, in my business, who help people prospect, you lose to the status quo. They say, you know what? Hope is somehow going to be a strategy. And they are willing to go month over month over month with no improvement to sales pipeline creation. And they'll continue on that journey. You're going to remain small forever. I can't tell you that every campaign that I've ever run was successful. In fact, 8 out of 10 are not, but 2 will be. And 2, I've tried so many of them that 2, I can plow thousands and thousands of dollars a month into those to go from 0 to 34 employees in 12 months. And that is twice as fast as I did in agency 1 and 3 times as fast as I did in agency 2 and 3 times as fast as agency 1. It's like Moore's law. It's half-lifing how fast I can get to 0 to $1 million and then $1 million to 3 and then 3 and beyond. It's because I'm willing to deploy capital on a variety of different campaigns. And this comes to now the second piece. The second piece is looking really objectively and being unwilling to be, and you're now not only indecisive, but the bigger problem is you're non-committal. And the non-committal is what kills off programs before they can hit steam. When you are prospecting, look at your sales cycle velocity. My sales cycle velocity and sales lives at Get Leverage is under 30 days. But even with that, it takes 90 days at a minimum, even with a short sales cycle, to be able to determine our messaging. Are we aiming at the right ICP? Do we have the right messaging? Do we have the right cadence and sequence? Do we have the right offer? Or do we have the right call to action? There's so much tweaking. And this is somebody who's been prospecting on LinkedIn for 12, 14 years. So for yourself to dabble in it for 30 days, you're going to go nowhere. Especially the longer you have a sales cycle. You might have an enterprise sales cycle that might be 6 months, 9 months, 12 months. You have to commit to a campaign and see it through. If you've ever seen statistics of touch points to success rates, and there used to be a company, InsideSales.com, that used to measure the impact of cold call number 1, 2, 3, 4. It actually starts to look like this by call 7, 8, 9, 10. It starts to create a sense of momentum, of brand recognition, known as brand salience. It starts to have a compounding effect. Most of you remain small because maybe you don't have an indecisive issue, but you'll plant seeds, and just even before it's ready to sprout through, you give up. You go, oh, this wasn't fast enough. And you're tacking and weaving from campaign to campaign. I ended up creating this diagram. I'm going to share this with you. I share this with people. This is a diagram that I use to explain how you derive the return on investment of prospecting on LinkedIn. You reverse engineer your annual average contract value, the EBITDA that you have in an average year. You look at the return on invested capital on a net income perspective that you want to achieve. And as an example, if you were to win one account using these unit economics, if you win one account in 1 year, you have a 4.2 times lifetime value to CAC ratio. Okay. That means you made 4 times on your money. One deal. But this is over 1 year. This is the commitment that it takes to prospect at $1,000 a month, prospecting 1,000 conversations a month on LinkedIn, and you are doing this consistently over and over and over again for months and months and months. It has a compounding effect. It has a natural tailwind. But unfortunately, small organizations are unwilling to commit to that type of timeline. They give up too early. The prime example is organic content marketing. I can't tell you how important it is to plant a tree. And you wish you had planted it 20 years ago. I've made this mistake. Organic content marketing, like I'm doing right now, it reaps its reward in 2025, and it has a snowball effect. 3 articles, videos, newsletters, podcasts on every social channel every day. There is a percentage of the market that starts to notice that content. It starts to adjust your search engine optimization. You become found on Google. This does not happen overnight. And those that are non-committal do not put in the time, money, and energy over long periods of time to watch the compounding happen, to see the rewards. So with that, if you're looking at your business, you're 2 people, 3 people, 4 people, but you've been that way for a while, look objectively at yourself and say, am I either non-committal, meaning I am willing to plant seeds, but I am unwilling to watch them grow into trees. I'm too impatient, and that's what's killing off the germination process. Or I'm just unwilling to make investments. And my bigger problem is I'm indecisive. I don't know what to do. So I'm an analysis paralysis. I don't even kick off campaigns. And again, when you go month over month over month without the returns that you want, like as in returns as you're not getting enough leads, it's not going to solve itself. You're going to have to make choices. And David Ogilvy used to say, I could tell you that 50% of your marketing dollars are not working. Can you just tell me which of those 50%? Sometimes you can't, but you have to be willing to take a risk and try. So I